What made you go from having a six-figure 9 to 5 job, right, being in the corporate workforce, to pivot into doing what you do now? Because I'm pretty sure you didn't wake up one day saying, "I'm gonna be a credit specialist. I'm gonna help people get their credit together so that they can, leverage these opportunities like I have." So, what was that pivotal point for you to say, "Okay, it's time for me to pivot. Right? I need to be my own boss. I need to make my own hours. I need to follow my own journey, my own flow."
It's always hard to find that right work-life balance. But the way that I try to focus on is being in the moment and being intentional. Be focused on being there. Be in the now, and then go on to work on your business or go work on your job, go work on your schooling or whatever it is. So a lot of people think they have bad credit and they really don't. They could be credit invisible, meaning you just need to build credit. Meaning that the little bit of credit that you may have, you may not did well with it.
This is Knucklehead Podcast. This your boy Malcolm,
Quan.
and we're here with none other than Mr. 750 Credit himself. I'm going to let him introduce himself, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, sir.
What's going on, everybody? Yes, it's Mr. Anthony Kelly, also known as Mr. 750. I'm the gentleman that you come to when you can't get approved. I'm going to get the job done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, first of all, thank you so much for pulling up. I know you're a busy man. I was writing him. I was like, hey, get here.
Yeah,
get here.
get on time.
I was like,
we
get here
gotta
on. But he always on time. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, get here, because I remember you was telling me, like, man, it's the holidays, but we doing this.
Right.
So we're here. I appreciate you, sir. First of all, man, how's your morning going? It's morning time somewhere.
Oh, morning. Hey, I'm still trying to wake up. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I've been begging for a coffee since I got here, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Right.
But nah, I just really
Leroy, let me get that coffee.
For real. But nah, I just had to support my guys. I went to one of their events, and when I seen how professional, how serious they was taking this, I'm like, yo, it's I don't care if it's a holiday. I don't care if it's an hour drive. I'm going to come out and show support. So that's why I made sure to commit to this and to be on time.
Yes.
So,
Appreciate it, man.
Yes,
Love
yes.
the energy. Love the energy.
He beat me here.
Ain't
He
that
beat
the
me
truth?
here. But what people don't know, not only do you do credit, right? But you take credit to a whole nother level. But we'll get on that later. You're a father.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You dedicate a lot of time to your kids,
Mm-hmm.
and that's from me knowing you. That means more than anything. So, as a father, to the fathers out there, we're gonna talk to the fathers. Sorry, mothers, but we talk to the fathers. As a business owner and a father, how do you balance that time?
So first and foremost, work-life balance. But a lot of y'all 9-to-5ers out there, and no offense to the 9-to-5ers, I was a 9-to-5er at one point. Think about your work-life balance with that 9-to-5, and also to my entrepreneurs, what's the work-life balance as an entrepreneur? You're always on call, you're always on the clock, and with that 9-to-5 person, you probably invest in at least 10 hours if you count your commute. So it's always hard to find that right work-life balance. But the way that I try to focus on is being in the moment and being intentional. So what I mean by being in the moment and being intentional is if I'm spending time with my children, I'm spending time with my children, meaning that the phone is down. I'm locked into maybe what they want to do. It could be something I don't want to do. Maybe I don't want to do a tea party. I don't play video games. I'm horrible at video games, but if that's what he wants to do, and that's what we're doing, and I'm totally locked in and committed to it. Or if it's a Disney movie, because what I caught myself doing is spending time with my kids while closing deals. And I'm really not spending time. They're telling me whatever's going on the TV. I have no idea. I have no clue. So what I really say is just, and this goes across the boards for people that got spouses, they're in relationships, really be focused on being there. Be in the now, and then go on to work on your business or go work on your job or go work on your schooling and whatever it is. So manage yourself accordingly to make sure that you're not spreading yourself thin, but at the same time, you're not neglecting the people that you say you're doing it for and the people that you love.
Yeah, I like that.
That's awesome. So kind of piggybacking off of that, what would you say is probably, because I know you got to put things in perspective, prioritize-wise. So, like when you are closing these deals, or just evaluating clients, what are you looking for from a credit strategist perspective?
First, I'm looking for someone that has bad credit. A lot of people think they have bad credit, and they really don't. They could be credit invisible, meaning you just need to build credit, meaning that the little bit of credit that you may have, you may not did well with it. So you might have had a Capital One and you defaulted on that, and that's about all you have, and like 2 late payments and no credit card. So that person doesn't qualify for the program. Or you may have people that just have credit cards with high limits. That person with credit cards with high limits, they don't qualify for the program because the main reason why you have bad credit is because of the limits. You bring the limit down, credit goes up. You don't qualify. So I'm looking for someone that may had a bad time. We all have life is lifing. That's the saying this year, right? Life is life.
Right.
So with life is lifing, it really does life. So you could have lost your job, you could have lost a spouse. COVID happened. Divorce, with depression, whatever, a bad car accident, whatever happened, could have called life to life. And when that lifes, this is how they can see what you got going on regarding your credit. Because they could see that at one point you was doing well, and then it took a drastic drop. So I always say it's 2 types of people. It's people with a bad situation and people with bad habits. Now, if you're that person with that bad habit, that means you just can't get out your own way. You can't get right. You're always spending more than you bring in. You looking at this credit card as free money, and that's the reason why you got bad credit. But those are the people that I actually strive to help, the people with the bad situation and the people with the bad habits, because we're going to break those bad habits as long as that person is willing to take the initial step to get out their own way. It's basically, how bad do you really want that house? How bad do you really want that business? How bad do you really want the thing that you say you want? And then I meet them where they want to be met, as long as they're willing to commit to the process. If you're not willing to commit to the process, everybody, because I've met so many people that say they went to credit repair and they say they got scammed. But when I really look at it and start, unwrapping the different levels of what happened, those people are still paying things late. Those people were, not adding on positive credit. They was on the program for a minute, off the program. It wasn't totally committed, or they seen an increase, they ran out, and they tried to go get a car and ended up with 10 hard increase. So and then it is some people that ended up paying a person that ran off and didn't do anything but take their money. So it's all dependent, but that's the person I'm looking for, is a person that want to commit to the program, that really want more for themselves and want to stop paying those high deposits. Understand, you don't supposed to pay a deposit to move into an apartment. You don't supposed to put down on an automobile. You don't supposed to put down a deposit for your lights. This is all free money that you're giving away just because of your score. If your car insurance is high, that's money you're giving away. Understand, when they say they're going to do a soft pull on your auto insurance, they're looking at that and it counts against you. I've been able to save people $200 just by increasing their score on not only on their car loan, but on their car insurance, just by improving their credit. So it affects you all the way around.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't know about the car part.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Now that we're diving into credit, right? Someone that maybe has bad credit or maybe isn't understanding credit and how you can leverage this, what are the top 3 things you would recommend that they do to either fix their credit or improve their credit?
First, you need to stop hiding from your credit.
Hide, go seek.
Yes.
Hide, go seek.
Yes. So it's like, but I get it. It's like, who wants to be depressed?
Right.
It's like when you're in that storm, who wants to go to that mailbox? Ain't nothing in that mailbox. Not except for when Trump was in office, and we ain't getting into politics because I don't got no side. I ain't got no side.
It's a politics show.
But I'm just telling you, y'all was happy when you went and got that stimulus check.
I know.
Hey, let's just be honest.
I might have went to the mailbox then too.
Yeah. So I'm talking on that side. So I don't want none of y'all to be like, I don't got no sides. But yeah, stop hiding from your credit report. So stop hiding. Understand what's going on, so you can understand how to fix it. You got to understand that first and foremost. Okay. So once you have an idea of that, then you dive into what you need to do. So what it can be is that, like I said, you can see on your credit report that you need to add on some new lines of credit. They have tons of companies out here. They have they have rent reporters to where if you've been renting for 2 years, you can backdate that, have 2 years of your rental history added to your credit. That can jump you 65 points within 45 days. So then you can also do Credit Strong, Self, Tomo. It's a bunch of different ones. These are secure card options. What a secure card option is where you're in a situation nobody trusts you to loan you their money. So you got to build credit using your own money.
Right.
Okay, so the way they see it is if you can't pay yourself on time, they know for sure you ain't going to pay them on time.
Wow.
You got to start looking at it as a banker. Like anything I ever went through in life, I always looked at it from both sides of the table. When a job would do layoffs, I looked at it from that CEO standpoint. If the company is growing, would I be doing layoffs?
Nope.
No.
Right.
I really don't want to lay y'all off, but the company is sinking. If I want to make it another 2 years, I gotta lay y'all off.
Right. Budget cuts.
You know, so y'all got to look at it from both sides. So look at it from the bank side. If I borrow money from Malcolm and I ran off on Malcolm, didn't pay it back, what's the likelihood that you're going to loan me some money?
Yeah. Okay. Slim to none.
I'm gonna find you.
Okay, see?
I don't need my money.
See? That's
Right.
why y'all
Give me
gotta
my money.
stick with those banks, man, because you go to these sharks, these loan sharks over here,
Give
boy.
me my money.
They doing different strategies to get their money back.
Right. Right.
Don't go to this hard money lender right here, boy. So that for example, but also look at it like this: is that if I paid Malcolm back and I paid him back extra, what's the likelihood that you would allow me
Trust. Yeah. You build proof of concept.
Exactly. That's how the banks are looking for it. They're like, hey, you done ran off on my guy Bank of America.
Yeah.
You coming here to chase? We already know the outcome.
Right. Because
Yeah.
all these banks talk.
Yeah. So
Right.
and then this is your adult report card. Parents out there, when you see your child, especially if you're a parent, you ain't fully hands-on, you're going to trust your child to be going to school, doing the right thing. Especially if you're a parent like me, to where they bring that stuff to you and you don't know what you're looking at. They done switched up how to add and subtract at this point. I looked at these little boxes. I was like, why y'all messed up adding and subtracting? Like,
Yeah.
like you got to show your work. That just took me out, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm just saying, if you like me, to where you're just going to expect them to come back with what you expect them to be doing. That's how it's going to look when they look at your credit report. They're going to expect you to be, hey, you've been working, you've been paying bills, you've been adulting. We just expect you to be doing it the right way. Pay stuff on time. Don't live out of your means. So when they look at your credit report, it tells a story about you. So it tells a story that maybe you had a bad situation, because now I see a whole 6 months to a year of stuff that just wasn't going right, and then you can make it make sense. Hey, I lost my job. I lost my spouse. Okay.
All right.
Then you seen everything go back the way it used to be. We trust you. But the can't get rights.
Right.
I done seen you got 2-3 repos. I see you done filed bankruptcy and you ain't even got no assets.
Right.
Understand, a rich bankruptcy and a poor bankruptcy, two different bankruptcies.
Well, all right, stop right there. Let's talk about it, because I've never understood the difference between, like, because you hear like Donald Trump or 50 Cent say bankruptcy and all these different versions, like, but to your point, you're saying there's a difference between having bankruptcy and having the assets, and not and having filing for bankruptcy and not having the assets. So
Right.
what's the difference?
So the difference is, most people, especially if you're not financial literate, basically those people are just filing bankruptcy to survive.
Right.
They don't want to lose their house. They either have so much debt that they can't pay back that they like, hey, let me file bankruptcy so you can write this debt off. But most of the entrepreneur 1%ers, they don't even have it set up under their name. This is set up under their business.
Wow.
So when it's set up under their business, you can do like Donald Trump. You could do like 50 Cent. So let me explain that. 50 Cent was going to have to pay out a lot of money he didn't want to. Due to him having a business with an EIN number. That EIN number is like creating his own person. So that EIN number, for people that don't understand, that's like a social security number for the business. So that's his own entity. So people are filing bankruptcies under their own social. These rich people are filing bankruptcy under their business so-called social EIN number. So once that happens, somebody slips and falls on your property, or like a 50 Cent situation where it's like, I'm not paying you, and you're only coming for what's in this business, then guess what? Bankrupt. The business don't make no money. It's done. It's done.
Right.
Or for Donald Trump's situation, he got some investors. He invested in an idea, something he believed in, thought would take off. It did not take off. Oh, it didn't work. Bankrupt. Bankrupt.
Wow.
You can only take what's under that umbrella of that business. And then they file bankruptcy. They go ahead, open up another LLC or S corp, and they rinse and repeat. Do it all again until they hit that big lick or that come up. That's it. So totally different from people that file it and they're just trying to survive, trying to, tired of robbing Peter to pay Paul, and they're just trying to hit that reset button to be able to become a homeowner again or get credit cards again.
Wow. You got any questions, or I can ask?
No, I'm just keep going, man. I'm just soaking all this in.
Yeah. So okay. So my next question would be, all right. So you explain how it affects you if you have assets. So when, to your point, like if you're not economically sustainable, meaning like you have some economic challenges, like you said, life is life, and how does that affect you moving forward, right? Like if I file for bankruptcy tomorrow, how does that affect me as far as moving forward? If I want to, reestablish myself, I got a job now, I'm paying my bills on time. Like how long would it take for me to have a sense of normalcy, or for that bankruptcy no longer to affect me moving forward?
So it's all depending, because they have chapter 7, chapter 13, chapter 11, all type of different chapters.
Talking about books?
No. The bankruptcy. The bankruptcy.
Oh, okay.
So they got different ones. So, and under each of them are going to be different terms. And like I say, this is not legal advice. I am not a lawyer.
Right.
So just want to let you know, you will have to see which one fits you. But at the same time, to get one off your credit, they say it takes 7 years. It doesn't. Now, if you don't work on having it removed, it will stay on there for 7 years. But you can have it deleted and removed within 2 years. Wow. And you could be eligible to become a homeowner again within 2 years. But they do have different things to where you can include your car in it, you can include your house in it, but then anything that you do, you're going to have to run it past the court system if you're trying to, acquire something else. That's regarding, that's regarding you adding on more debt.
Right.
You got to run it past them, because they like, hey, you're trying to add on more debt. You ain't pay the debt you already got.
Right.
So it's different things depending on which one you have. But I will tell you, you can go back to living life. I actually just talked to my neighbor that I wasn't even aware of that filed bankruptcy. And now he's showing me he has an 800 credit score. So it's life after bankruptcy. My sister filed bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is not a bad thing, guys. I'm not here to tell you that if you're not financially stable or you're not a 1%er that you shouldn't do bankruptcy. No. Do whatever you need to do to survive to the next day.
Right.
If you're playing the game to win, if you're just playing the game and you're just playing the game, then no, understand what you really are doing. So if you're like, hey, I done lost a 6-figure job, which I have been there before, I know you go into straight survival mode. I know you're trying to get that 6-figure job, and they may not come straight out, depending on if you got your degrees and credentials. They may not come straight to the offering table and offer you that money right back. So you may have to do whatever you need to do to pace yourself to get back where you was at. So understand, if that's where you're at, go ahead, file that bankruptcy. But also understand that it costs to file bankruptcy. You need to at least be $20K in debt, and it's going to cost that lawyer to file that paperwork. They're going to charge you between $1,500 all the way to maybe $3,000 or more to even file bankruptcy. So be mindful, y'all. Be mindful of that. That's one thing that everybody wants to run and do. The other thing is debt consolidation. Debt consolidation is a scam, guys. I want to let y'all know that. The way that it works is that they're going to let all your debt default. All your debt is going to default, and then they're going to negotiate payments on that defaulted debt. But guess what? You could have did the same thing. You could have let all your debt just go to collection and then try to do a pay to delete or a settle to delete. You could have did that yourself. Because what they're going to do, they're going to take that cut off the top before they pay that debt. But as that debt is going into default, you're getting hit with late payments. You're getting hit with collection accounts. And most of these companies don't partner with a credit repair company. They just let your credit just go down the toilet.
Right. Wow.
So what you want is a consolidation loan.
Okay.
You want a loan. So let's say you have $20,000 outstanding debt on all type of different cards. You want a loan that say, hey, we're going to take all this debt, put it under one loan. You got one payment. Problem with that is 9 times out of 10, when you're already underwater, your score didn't already tanked. Nobody's trying to consolidate that debt for you. So just be mindful because they'll tell you all these things, and it's not what it seems.
Wow.
So, to that point, this is why everyone should be reaching out to you.
Absolutely. Or can we all agree we've been adulting for some time? A lot of y'all that's probably listening to this, you're probably 21 and up. Can we understand that, YouTube University, Google is out there. You even got ChatGPT. I would love to do all your credit. Come to me, yes. If you don't want to do it, just like I don't do my own haircuts, I don't change my own oil. Pay people that's specialized in the thing that they specialize in. But at the same time, knowledge-wise, a lot of y'all are going to credit repair so-called gurus, and you have no idea what they're doing.
Right.
Like, even me, I don't understand cars. I got a BMW. And I don't know, but when they start calling out numbers, it intrigued me to try to figure it out. When you start talking, 500 and up for spark plugs and all type of other things and hoses and stuff, and I'm like, how can this hose cost $300? Like, how much is the labor? How much is this? So I'm saying that to say this, y'all, like, try to figure it out. It's the stuff is out there. You don't have to do the work, but understand how it works.
Right.
If that makes sense.
To make an informed decision.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. So people can't just tell you anything. So like when I go to that car shop, I didn't already looked up the parts different places. I didn't already looked up labor different places. So when that person talks to me, I already have an idea of where it should be.
Right.
So same thing when you talk to that credit person, say, hey, what are you doing? Is it factual disputing? Is it consumer law disputing? Is it Metro 2? What kind of disputing is it? How does it work? Like, how do you get it off? I know I owe it. Like, what's the process? Like, understand the process. Most of y'all have no idea the process. And then you're like, I think they sent out letters, or I think they're doing something. I'm just paying and just hoping. Know what's going on. Know what's going on, because then not only can you help that credit repair person speed up the process, you can hold them accountable in case you're not seeing any changes.
Definitely. One thing that I noticed, because I follow you on social media, you don't see competition, right? I've noticed, and I've seen you around other credit specialists that have other businesses, and you all are just like a brotherhood, where, hey, I got your back. What do you need? Let me help you. Most people, and correct me if I'm wrong, nowadays in the industry, they want to compete. Absolutely. I'm better than you. Where did you get that from? That mindset of like, I'm not going to compete. If we can grow together, let's grow together. Like, where did that come from?
What God has for you is for you, and what's not is not. So some people may see something in you that they're not going to see in me. Mm-hmm. And all money is not good money. And when you start basically compromising your morals for money, where does it stop? Right. So I didn't hate it on this guy to get this sale from him. What more will I do to make sure that I'm the number one credit guy? Like, where does it stop? And then there's so many people with bad credit. Like, why does it have to be so competitive? Why does it have to be, so crabs in the bucket? And then that also goes back to the history of us. Our history as black people is like, we may want to see you do well, but not better than us. But why does it have to be that way? Why can't we be more like some of these other cultures that's like, yo, we're going to lock arms and we're going to grow together. We're going to be a powerful force together. I'm going to give you the tips and tricks that I'm using. Why does it have to be like, oh, if I give you too much of the sauce, you're going to run off and then you're going to have the best recipe and then I don't get to live the good life, So just me personally, I just really focus on helping people, doing right, and I got to be able to look at myself in the mirror, and I got to be able to sleep at night knowing that I didn't compromise my soul, my integrity for the dollar.
I like that.
So from what I'm hearing, it's like you got a spirit of abundance, meaning like there's plenty out here for everyone, I'm gonna focus on the people that's willing to grow with me as opposed to seeing you as my competitor. Because if we're in this marketplace and we're sharing and we're growing together, whether it's ideas or collaborations, we ultimately still win, right? Across
Absolutely.
the board, as opposed to now I got to up on you, and now you trying to say, okay, how can I get back? How can I get back to that number one spot? And it's like it's more than enough. It's like they, I forgot where I heard this quote from, but they said the mountain high is very few. It's a lot more space than you would think. You know, most people, the 99%, are on that bottom of the mountain, right? They're all just crabs, like you said, crabs in the barrel, fighting to see how can I get just 1 inch above the person next to me. But instead of thinking like, how can I assist you? How can we collab? Because if we both get to the mountaintop, we still can see the same view.
Because you got to ask yourself, think about it. What type of energy are you operating in when you actually got to hate on that person, not see them do well? Like, you got to think, I'm thinking of ways to tear down your business. Throw obstacle courses in front of you. Think of that energy you got to operate in, opposed to me like, yo, hey, he winning, I'm clapping, even though I'm not winning. And hey, guys, I'm going to be honest, I'm a human. Sometimes it hurts to not be winning and somebody winning.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you.
Absolutely.
But to channel the hate and like, yo, since I'm not winning, I want him to lose. That's just, I can't go there. But I can sit there on the sideline, yo, I'm clapping, I'm seeing what you're doing, and then I can change my mindset on it to say, hey, if it's working for him, and like I said, go back to what God has for me is for me. When it's my season, it's going to be my season. And if for all of y'all that's believers, to whatever you believe in, those are the times that you're tested. You could say, you can go show up, you could dress up, you can read every morning and do all these things, but what's your true action when you're tested?
Gotcha. So I got a question for the 99%, since we have this high vibration conversation. You mentioned something earlier as you were kind of talking about your journey. What made you go from having a 6-figure 9-to-5 job, right, being in the corporate workforce, to pivot into doing what you do now? Because I'm pretty sure you didn't wake up one day saying, I'm going to be a credit specialist. I'm going to help people get their credit together so that they can, leverage these opportunities like I have. So what was that pivotal point for you to say, okay, it's time for me to pivot, right? I need to be my own boss. I need to make my own hours. I need to follow my own journey, my own calling.
Absolutely. Great question. Can we all agree that we ask God for things and it never shows up the way that we envision?
Oh, 100%. God is the most inconvenient person on the planet.
Oh, yeah. So it was almost similar to that. Like, I was going through a crossroad in life to where I knew I was never an employee. Like, I was the worst employee you will ever see. I was a person that's going to tell you how you need to manage me, because I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up on time. I'm going to do the job. But the different things of the micromanaging and you was late, you only got this many occurrences and different things like that, I just could never understand it. So I would have conversations, which I laugh at now, and I even laugh with my old bosses because I'm still in touch with them. But I was like, they never had a person like me that's going to tell you, like, hey, man, reach out to me when you're going to write me up. Until then, we can't talk. Like, we don't, when you're going to write me up, then we talk. My number's not right, we talk. If the number's right, talk to me when it's the time to fire me off that last occurrence. I don't want, so it was just crazy. I always knew the way my mind was set to where I knew that wasn't what I was supposed to do. So I was always trying to see, I was reading books, I was speaking to mentors, and I was just like, yo, I can't find my God's gift. My gift didn't shine. I couldn't sing. I couldn't dance. I couldn't make funny skit videos. So I'm just like, what is my niche to get out to the free world? And I was talking to one of my mentors, and he had told me, he was like, communicating and teaching. And I almost cussed him out. Almost cussed him out because
Why?
Because he tied it in with sales, and I felt everybody could sell. Like, everybody could sell. You just offer it and smile.
I wish it was that easy.
And you're right, because it is people that can sell, and then there's people that's top sellers.
Right.
I didn't get that. It's a bunch of people in real estate. It may not be a bunch of people selling $1 million listings. So
That's
it's
true. Hey, now.
So it's different type of sales. So then I finally got it. But at the first time, it was like insulting. Like, you're gonna tell me because I wanted mine to shine. I wanted something to where it's like, you see some people gifts like a Chris Brown, and you like,
Man, that's spectacular.
Gift, boy. Yeah, you magical.
Yeah.
I wanted to be magical. I wanted my God gift to be magical.
He
Where
said
it's
he want to be, hey, line up, take $1,000 picture with me.
Exactly. That's what I wanted. God say, your gift will make room. I wanted that thing to be so bright to just make the room. Give me all your money.
I walk in glowing, just floating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I wanted. So when he told me, I was just heartbroken. Like, that's it? That can't be it. Like, that is not going to get me nowhere. But so when he had the conversation with me, I washed it off, never even thought about it again. The job went out of business. So when the job went out of business, I couldn't replace that six figure income quick. So everybody, I been on both sides of good and bad credit. Been a homeowner since I was 24. Had good credit. Had all the nice cars, good credit cards. Lost that job and started over relying on those credit cards. Maxed them all out. That 750 credit score dropped down to 550 so quick, make your head spin. But I didn't care because I'm in survival mode. I got to survive to find that next job that was worth my time because most of these jobs were trying to pay me 45, 50, and due to my lifestyle, it was going to be a waste of my time. So credit score dropped, but what happened is the housing market changed. The house I was living in was worth 3 times the rate. All my neighbors sold their house. They cashed out. They was able to cash out 3 times what the house was worth. I couldn't do anything with it because I had bad credit. So I couldn't sell the house because I couldn't qualify for another house. And I couldn't even pull equity out of the house because you need good credit to pull your equity, to even refinance.
Yep.
So I was stuck in a great investment with nothing to do. So I'm sitting there trying to figure out how people go about life with bad credit. Then my engine went out on my car. Engine went out on my car.
That'll do it.
And this was the first time I ever went to that car dealership. I call it feeling naked. Feeling naked. You go in there and you just like, you get ready to loot me up and take advantage of me. And ain't nothing you could do about it. You just begging. You just begging, hey, whatever you could do for me, just do it. Like, that is the worst thing y'all can do, guys. Do not go up there begging to get taken advantage of. Because what they're going to do, they're going to take advantage of you.
All day long.
So I'm used to signing and driving. I'm used to going to my bank and getting my pre-approval check where I go there and I tell them, hey, you can give me this car. I want the bells and whistles. I want $5,000 off. If you can't do it, I'm going to the next car dealership. Go talk to your manager, make it happen. Those 2 different conversations.
Right.
Opposed to when you come in there and you like, hey, can you make this happen? They go talk to that manager and they run up all type of crazy numbers, talked about 10 different banks, and then come back in there. So I was able to witness how that goes, and it is horrible. Ended up with a car with a probably interest rate of, what was it? Probably, I think, 19%. So basically paying $300 more on that car just because I had bad credit.
Wow.
So ended up getting a car because, like I say, I'm in survival mode. I don't care. Hey, I just need a car. You approve me, now I got a car. Boom. Even though I'm paying crazy payments for this car, that ain't even worth it. So I get the car. I finally get a decent job. But now I still got that problem of bad credit. So now I'm just like, hey, what I'm going to do with this credit? I can't do nothing with the equity in my home. I still got bad credit. I need to refinance this auto loan because the payments is killing me. So I ended up starting to research how credit works. I didn't believe in credit because the way I see it is you owe it. How can you get it off?
Right.
So got with a company that started teaching me all the ins and outs regarding credit. And as I started to learn all the ins and outs, I started learning consumer law. I started learning factual disputing. I went over and beyond of what they was teaching, and I just wanted to learn all of how it worked behind the scenes, almost becoming like a fake paralegal or attorney, to where I learned all the laws. Just like how you say people can get caught with drugs, and just because they didn't get read they Miranda rights or something like that, it was a legal search and seizure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those type of loopholes. I learned all the loopholes. Once I learned the loopholes, I fixed my credit, got my credit back up. I started helping all the people I work with, because the job field that I was in, people was making great money. I mean, they was making 90 to 100 and over, but still renting. And like I said, I was a homeowner very young, to where I couldn't understand rent. I'm like, why would you still be renting and you actually pay less back then you would pay less for a house. Right now it's even. This is the craziest market ever. It has never been to where you're almost paying like more than rent, or like renting is actually a better option. That's
Right.
it's always been a house is cheaper. So when I talk to the people I work with, I say, hey, you make so much money, why are you renting? And their whole thing was, I got bad credit. I was like, but you make money. Like, yeah, I just don't know. I don't look at it. So I started diving in, helping them for free. Helped a bunch of people for free, got them into a home. Before I knew it, they called me the credit expert. They went and got all their friends, their family members. I had so many people calling my line the way I had to start charging. And then that actually pushed me out into everything I told God I wanted. The not having to clock in and clock out, to actually being my own boss, to actually having something that people needed, be able to help people and actually do something that provided a service that that really gave back to people that was in need. So that answered everything that I was asking, but it came in the form of credit, and I would have never thought to be a credit specialist or credit guru or do anything that was involving, credit. So that's how I ended up doing this.
Wow.
Man, you, the communication part, I feel like definitely with you. I know you want to slap the dude, but I feel like that works for you. That's your thing, because I've seen you on many different platforms, and when the lights come on and the cameras are on, like your knowledge, your ability to connect with the crowd, like it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I can see you in many the big stages.
Man, I take it. I gotta take it now. But I wanted it to shine. I wanted to be able to sing and dance like you. I look at your TikTok videos. I'm like, boy, that boy can sing and dance.
Don't tell me that.
And play basketball. I'm like, golly, I can't do none of it.
Those are none of my big things though. That's crazy. I try to dance today, I break bones.
Oh man, that's just the old age kicking in.
So my last question for you is I've never gotten the same answer from people that I've asked this question. So I'm familiar. I'm trying to see how you'll answer this.
Okay.
So if you had all the money that you could, $1 billion, $1 million, whatever the case may be, right? Mm-hmm. And you were in a position to either provide, obviously, your kids with all your assets, or maybe donate it to a charity that could help further other people in building their credit. Which one would you choose and why?
Okay, so if I can give all my assets to my kids, or I can give assets to a charity.
Right. To help pretty much do the mission that God has put on your life.
That is a deep one. That is a deep one. Yeah, I got to think about that. That's because the selfishness in you as a parent is like definitely thinking about the kids, but then the other
You don't want me to dig into that.
the humanitarian side of it of giving back and helping people with their credit. Because then
one of them you can do, and it can knock out both without even knowing.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I go the humanitarian way and give back, because the thing is, all the stuff that I instilled into my kids, they should be able to do very well. So if I can have the legacy of my name living on, like say I have like the statue, or like the hall of Anthony Kelly,
right?
And then, it teaches them how to get their credit right, and it teaches them how to be able to take OPM other people money and make money, and then and my name just lives on. Because the thing about it is, you can leave assets to your kids. It's a lot of people that got things left to them, and they got squandered.
Right.
And I can even speak for myself. My mom left me a house, and I didn't do right by it. That house is gone. So her legacy kind of got tarnished due to my mistake.
Right.
So, I would definitely roll the dice on the other side, because that legacy will live on depending on, how many lives get changed.
What would you do?
Oh, man.
Yeah. What would you do?
That's interesting, because I just had a daughter, right?
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Congrats.
Thank you. So I agree with you in the sense I would instill certain principles in my daughter she's my firstborn, so she'll obviously be my oldest. But I would instill certain principles in her and kind of teach her how her father got to wherever I am, whatever success looks like for me, and hope that she implements those. But for her, I would put like a percentage probably.
So either or. When you explained it,
you said
it was
either or.
Either
bro.
or.
You didn't say
Oh,
either
man.
or.
Okay.
You did. Yeah, you're right.
All
You
right,
said A or B.
I think right now, because this is my firstborn, I'm leaving everything to her. Just because coming from where we come from, being from New York and going through that whole terrain and being that flower, let me use this analogy, being that flower that kind of made it through and pushed through the concrete to where we're at now, even having this conversation, I would want to give her a better head start than I had. So, yeah, for me, leaving everything to my child.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
That's deep.
Yeah, what about you? Since you want to switch the question on me.
Hey, everyone know my answer. My answer that would never change. It's staying with my junior. But the why, that's why I said you can knock it out in with one answer, because I'm already instilling into mine, hey, this. Like you said something where you had the house, but you didn't know what to do with it, right? So teaching him now what to do with it, and then also letting him know, hey, this is how you become, I can't say the word, humanitarian. There we go. I'll be messing words up.
You got it.
But
You're
this is how you become and do these things, but putting it into his name, but more so into like a LLC. So it's really not to his name. It's tailored to a LLC that other people are managing. So now I can knock out both birds with just that one stone.
That's cool.
No, that's good. That's good.
Pretty cool.
And like I said, the selfish side of me definitely be like, yo, roll the dice on the kids.
I'm rolling.
But the legacy side, I think I might even have, like, because you got to understand.
Man,
we don't know what
that's
type
the
of
selfish
adults they
side
go-
of you, though.
No,
it's not the
We don't-
kids.
we don't
The
know what
selfish
they
side,
go-
you want the hallway, and you wanted to say Anthony Kelly, and you wanted to be like Mr. 750.
Hey, your kids are temporary. Your legacy can be forever. Till this day, we still know who the Rothschilds are. So I mean, it depends on where you're at in life.
And then
Nah, I'm
we're
rolling
all
with that, my son.
we're all praying that we're raising great adults. We're all praying that.
Yeah.
And we envision that they will be.
But that's why you put it in LLC.
But can we all say that there's probably some parents out there that thought they was doing the same?
Yep.
And them little knuckleheads.
There's always
They
one.
weren't raising good kids. They knew they wasn't.
No.
They thought they were
you
just
gotta
because
think,
they threw a
we-
bowl of cereal and said watch TV.
Nah, we talking about pastors. We talk about pastors.
Oh,
we
let's
talking
not.
about-
I almost
yeah,
went
yeah,
down the
I
rabbit
know.
hole. You saw that. You saw that.
I guarantee
I
they thought they was
had to
doing
catch
good.
myself.
I guarantee they thought they was doing good.
I had to catch myself.
Oh man, those PKs, you gotta watch out
Yeah,
for PKs, man.
came out the worst. So, but I guarantee they
Why
thought they
though?
was doing great.
Nah, I ain't gonna ask that
Hey,
question.
who knows? I don't know
Oh,
because
man.
it ain't no
That's
handbook.
another
to this.
Well, that's a
It
whole
ain't-
nother
It ain't no
time.
handbook to this. You gotta understand when you have a child, it's like digging in a mystery bag. You don't know what type of personality you're gonna come out with.
That's true.
You can have a rebellion spirit personality,
Right.
and you can do all you want.
That's
They just
true.
gonna do what they do.
Right.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say this is that you don't know what type of friends, relationships, different things gonna pull them into different ways of which you raised them. Because I was
Right.
a great kid, but when I was in Norton, New Jersey, the way my house was positioned was right on the cuffs of the hood and the suburbs. Walk across the street was the hood. Walk back where my house was the suburbs. I was zoned for the hood school. I was the greatest child and was raised great, but being put in their environment, I had to convert over
Yeah, they're that.
Right.
to their whole mindset and everything. So you just never know. You could be doing the great. My mom did great. I had everything, but at the same time, she didn't understand the environment she was putting me in. So
Right.
the environment's your peers, your that could definitely influence things. To where me personally, on the selfish side, roll the dice on them. Let them. This is all I work for. Give them a stepping stone to make their life easy.
Right.
But let's just say you make it so easy, they squander it.
Which happens.
They get married, the husband run off with it in a divorce or something, or you leave her a policy.
That can happen.
But let's just say.
But what about the
my
other
hall,
side? You
let me
give it
say-
to- you
let-
give it
let me
to-
say my monument in my legacy hall. Let's say it do change a
But
bunch of
people got to
lives.
take care of that.
Let's say it gets taken care
But
of.
now you said
it gets taken care of.
But see,
It's a
you
whole
showing
nother
you showing
episode right here. I
you
love
showing the shiny side of that side, and you showing the side that could
Okay.
the what if on the kid side.
Okay.
Now let's look at this. There's many different places that we look at. We're like, I remember when, like, remember statues. Think about it. You go back home or a certain wherever it is, 10 years ago, it was like, dang, this is dope. Someone build a gymnasium, and they're like, oh, this is for the kids. Now you go back, like, bro, what happened? They didn't keep it up. They didn't clean it. They ain't do nothing. Now you're leaving your legacy, your monument to someone else. Now it's full of weeds. It's not doing anything.
But on that side, but let's just say it was put in an area that really needed the help. And let's say the area that needed the help and the people you put in place was able to really get the free funding and to keep it going. They kept it going, and then everything worked as accordingly to where they got the houses, they got the financial literacy they was needing, they was able to actually invest.
Then it did its thing.
Grant writers and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, say you really had it like a well-oiled machine, because it's credit and investment, and like they said, success leaves clues.
Right.
The clues in the blueprint is right there.
Correct.
And let's just say we really run the blueprint. Like, I already know how to get $50K from different banks. I already know how to. So whatever your dream is, on anybody listening to this, what would your dream look like if you had $50K to invest in it and you had a whole year interest-free to pay it back? What do your dream look like? What does podcasting look like if you had $100K today in your account? Right. What does it look like? What does your clothing brand look like? $100K in your account, you got a whole year to pay it back.
Right.
So just really, these people that had no other option didn't have no financial literacy, and they actually had true classes that taught them whatever they needed. Like, I'm going to get you a loan for the barbershop. I'm going to get you everything structured right, your LLC, the full
blueprint.
Yeah. And it actually worked.
Yeah.
It will keep going.
I love
The only
that.
time it breaks is when it ain't working.
Right.
No, that's always going to work. No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying I love the picture.
Yeah.
Well,
I won't get the weeds. That's what I'm saying. I can't get the
I
weeds
love
if
it.
it's working and the
But
people
on
in
this
place.
side, I look at it from a standpoint, and then I'll stop because I
Yeah.
love. I'm
You
on
love
this
the
side
thing.
with the kid. I do. With the kid, I look at it as yes. So you put it in their name, you give it to them. It's theirs, but just like you have a team here, you have a team here. I'm not saying, here, Junior, this is yours. He not mentally ready, but I have a solid team, so I know now the information, everything that I'm breaking down to him is to lead to this side.
And the only reason why, because I just got to talk from my standpoint, because my mom did all that. She had a will in place to set up to where she wanted to be buried, the color she wanted to wear, what age I had to be to get money, what age I had to be to take over the house, the land, everything. So she had everything detailed way better than any parent that I know of. So, and shout out to her, she left assets and everything.
She did her thing.
Yeah, she did her thing. The thing that I say that I gotta be biased is because you can teach a child.
But what I'm talking about, what team did you have around you to teach you what to do with that? That's what I'm saying.
Well, then
I
I give you that part. If you got the team in place, because that's where things went wrong. It was no team in place, but it was guidelines in place.
Right.
I thought you was coming from a guideline.
No.
Because it was a straight
We
guideline.
don't even follow guidelines. I would jaywalk earlier.
So let me understand how your team work. How many people in your team? Where you find your team? How does it work?
My circle is my team. My son has 3 godfathers.
Okay.
3, and each one of them are doing something. Pretty much all of them.
Okay.
You have G, very analytical, but G's very structured when it comes to money. He knows how to handle things, right? I can be like, hey, G, this is what this is. Boom. You have Joseph. Joseph's a business person, know how to do real estate. You have Kenny. Kenny's someone that's going to articulate things, know how to break it down. He's going to research. He's the full 9. Kenny's more reserved. G's more, let me make sure, but we can do it. Joseph is more, let's get this money to going and let's start building. Put the 3 together, it's a mega house.
Okay.
But they're not just the only 3. We have other people. You have Quan, yourself. Like, so many people are surrounded. So when I do leave, the guideline is structured.
I love it.
To have the right people.
I love it, and I do agree with you with your circle to work. What would you say for the black people that don't have a healthy circle?
So just because you don't have a healthy circle today, you can build. Your family is not all your family. You can build your family. You can build your family. So I look at it from a standpoint, if your circle is unhealthy, you really don't care about your kids or your future, your monument anyway, because you still allow yourself to be sucked by you know what I mean?
environment.
Yeah, by the environment.
Yeah.
So now that's a you thing.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? That's how
because people are in that situation.
they are. But then you can get out, and you don't have to cut people off. Like, oh, let me cut you off right now. Sometimes you may have, hey, let me limit the
This for
time.
myself.
Yo, Aunt, hey, you want to hang out?
Mm-hmm.
I see the positive. Hey, boom. All right, hey, you want to hang out? Start limiting your time.
I just had to ask that because as you get older, building realistic, strong bonds, it becomes harder. You know,
100%.
We just not to go into the topic, but we had a situation kind of sort of recently where I was like, bro, I just don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing to anything, but I know my thought process and where I'm at. I gotta pull back, and it's nothing to anyone, but you gotta understand you.
Right.
And then you got to be around people like him that's not going to judge you because of something that, hey, man, right now, not today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No,
But-
I give you that. I just needed to ask that question because
You
because me personally, like you already know, I got a lot of people I know. I'm very social, but I don't got a lot of people I connect with. So the only thing that helps this conversation is you, because you was a new add-on to my tribe, to where it's like I love you like a brother. So it's like I gotta accept that you can add on new solid people to your life.
100%. Well, man, this is a great episode. I think a lot of value here, man. We appreciate your time for coming on the Knucklehead Podcast. Again, this is the idea behind this podcast was really to have these conversations, right? Break down the nuances of building credit, having those financial literacy conversations. That way we can help affect that change that we're looking to see, in our upbringing when we were younger, right? There weren't these outlets available. So thank you for taking the time to speak to us and joining our podcast, man.
Nah, Knuckleheads, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Y'all tune in. The things that these guys are doing is not just a podcast. They really have a passion for educating y'all, helping y'all, and opening your mind to a new level.
Definitely. I know you have an event. This recording, you may not get to it, but we're going to post it on our page, or you already saw it. Matter of fact, let me just say that. You already saw it. An event was amazing. I like to manifest.
There we go.
But how do they reach out to you? Because like you said, there's a lot of people that may have bad credit, not understanding credit, all of the above, and not just personal credit. You also do business funding,
Correct.
all of the above. So now if you, like you said, that barbershop, that podcast that's looking to get more money, and within the year, they don't have to pay it back within the year, right? How do they reach you? Where do they contact you at?
So you can find me, Anthony Kelly, on Facebook. You can find me at 750 Credit Score, IG, or you can give me a call, 813-732-4622. What I tell you is just reach out to get an understanding of what you got going on. Don't be ashamed. And the good thing is we're not charging you to give you an overview of what's going on in your credit. After we give you that overview, it's your decision what you want to do regarding your credit. How bad do you want what you say you want?
100%. 100%.
All right. Till next time, guys.
Till next time, this is Knucklehead Podcast. We'll see you at the top or from the top. You decide. Let's go.